Do.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a
If you're
hundred.
watching this, sponsor us
I'm gonna do
right now.
108 cups of Baja Blast tonight.
I
There
can
you
do
go.
108 cups of Mountain Dew tomorrow at the Ball Arena.
Oh my gosh, what this is so many name drops in one intro.
I'll
Hello.
buy an Xbox One mini fridge and buy 100 Mountain Dews there from fill up my fridge.
Oh gosh.
Mountain Dew, if
Hello.
you're watching this, sponsor us.
Hello and welcome
Yeah.
to the Irresponsible Comic Book Podcast. My name's Evan. I'm the producer. We
Mountain
like
Dew crackheads.
we like Mountain Dew.
We're crackheads of Mountain Dew, so if you have any more Mountain Dews, please let us know.
Yeah, but we also love comic books, and so we're here today to talk about the latest DC and Marvel news, talk about the shows coming out, talking about what's going on casting wise, what's going on with some comic book stuff actually, which we usually don't talk a ton about, but we're doing a little bit more of lately. And so we're going to start with actually the DC Universe Infinite. The video won't work. Of course it won't. Let me see. There we go. It played finally. DC Universe Infinite. I don't know why that was a technical issue, but it was. They finally have announced that the DC Universe Infinite, where you can read all the comic books, not every single one, but a good chunk of comic books. I think it's 25,000 comics that have been produced by DC. You're able to now access them worldwide. It's not just limited to the United States anymore, which is great. So, yeah, essentially now you're able to read these in the UK, in Mexico. I mean, obviously, if you live there, that's where you're going to want to read them because that's where you live. But before it wasn't, it got launched somewhere in 2020, and it has been ineligible to read outside of the United States since its launch. They basically created the service as soon as all their live and animated television shows got transported to HBO Max. So, but yeah, now you're able to read it anywhere. United States is not the only place you're able to access it. I think that's a really good thing for them.
It's a lot of their newer stuff too, isn't it?
Yeah, it's most of their new stuff that comes out. Obviously, there's
mostly like the new 52 and beyond.
Correct.
Yeah, and it has like some of their like classic stories. Like it has the death of Superman on there, so like things that are classics that everybody would, maybe want to read or check in on to understand some storylines that they're doing. Those are there as well. I don't know everything that's running on there at the moment, but it is a lot of the newer stuff. So you're able to kind of check in with that. I believe the price, check me if I'm wrong, but I think it's like $7.99 a month, or you can do a bundle where you pay for the whole year, and I believe it's $80.
It's called the DC Universe, right? Infinite?
Yeah.
Infinite. First thing, let's see. We're gonna sign up.
He's signing up.
Gotta make an account.
Oh no. I'm pretty sure that's the price though. I don't know for sure. The other thing I wanted to touch on is obviously they don't have the shows or anything that they used to have there anymore. So they've able to
Before they used to, I think that was the reason why they were charging most people. I think it was $8 a month for that.
It's $7.99 plus tax a month, so it'll end up being like eight
something
20s or 8.30 something a month.
Yeah, depending on where you're at in the United States, what they tax
or
per
you
dollar.
can do the yearly billing of $74.99 plus tax. And
nice.
that saves you 20% a year.
Yeah, that's pretty solid.
You do get a free 7-day trial, so if you do not like it, you can cancel within the free 7 days.
Yeah, not a sponsor, but if you want to go try it out for 7 days, go read some DC Comics, you're more than able to. Free trial. Right. Always cancel those things before they expire because you don't want to get charged for it. But yeah, no, it's a good place to, especially if you're not super familiar with DC. I did the same thing with like Marvel's Unlimited little comic book app, and I had it for a year, and I read a handful of like Ant-Man stories, Thor, probably a lot more that I don't remember. But I went and read like a bunch of different comic runs.
Way more than just like.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure the Marvel Comics app has like over 50,000, 60,000 issues available.
So they have 1,377 series.
Holy cow!
That's not just like.
That's not single issues. That's series.
No, it's
with
just
multiple
the series.
Issues. Wow. I know that some of them only have like the single first issue there, and they use that as like a tactic to get you to try and go out and buy actual runs of comics. But I don't think that like, obviously that's a lot of series to have on there. I don't think a majority of them are that way. I know there was a handful of like first edition comics that I was like reading, or like the first edition of a series that was getting started, and then they'd say, yeah, that's the only one available. You're gonna have to go buy the rest at your local comic shop or whatever. So it's a good tactic to get people involved in the community a little bit better, which is great. And I think it's even better now that it's like worldwide, that people get to experience that and read into these stories that we all
I just
love.
filtered it by like newest, and it's the newest one they have on there is called Earth Prime, and it's episode 1.
Oh yeah, that's pretty good.
And it's a Batwoman comic.
Yep. Nice.
Then they also have like the first issue of Peacemaker, Disturbing the Peace.
Yep. Nice.
They have the first issue of Aquaman, The Becoming. Batman, The World.
Do they have year 1 of the Riddler on there? I know that one's
Not yet.
the one.
Not yet.
Okay.
No.
That one's still.
It's being in progress.
That's one run that I'm gonna read for sure, because it's
gonna be 2 issues of Batman '89.
Ooh.
Okay.
Nice.
Suicide Squad Get Joker. They got 2 issues of that.
Yep.
They got 2 issues of Booster and Gold, or Blue and Gold. So Booster Gold and
story.
Blue Beetle comic.
Yeah, nice. That's a good dynamic. I like them in the comics. I'm guessing that's Tim Cord, Blue Beetle, and not Jaime.
It is Tim Cord, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, no, they're pretty good.
Which is fine.
Robins that has 7 episodes out.
Nice. Yeah, it's a lot of like a couple episodes of each series to like get you kind of hooked in on certain stories you like and certain illustrations you like. But that's the whole point of this. But it's also just to like get people involved in the community more, which is what's great. Because I was on the community tab this morning and last night for my DC account, and was like liking people's posts and leaving comments and stuff like that. So
yeah,
it's all about the community effort there. And now it's worldwide, so it doesn't limit it to just a certain group of people, which it took them forever to do because it's DC, but they got there. You know what I mean?
Maybe think about it. It wasn't much of a big deal per se at that time. I mean, it took DC long, but if you think about it, the world was in the pandemic at that time, and I guess they could have just got that shit out of the way already. But there's really much of a, at least in my opinion, not much of a big deal.
Yeah, they launched it like in the summer of 2020, right at the first wave of COVID. So you are right with that. That is part of it. I think the article we were reading earlier said that the other issue was like publisher rights in other countries, which was like an issue they had to clear up before they could actually launch in certain countries and stuff like that.
Correct the mundo.
So
I mean, it's always hard to get the rights.
Yep, absolutely.
Yep, I agree.
And I think that like Marvel was able to do their app first, Marvel Unlimited, before DC could get it together, just because they have Kevin Feige in charge of everything as the director.
I don't think Kevin Feige was in charge of the whole Marvel Unlimited stuff.
No, but
he's in charge of the videos, like the movies. He's not.
He's like the director.
No, I get that part. But like movie wise, yes, he's in charge of that. But him being in charge of the whole Marvel comic, I think they would have someone else cover that.
Yeah,
in general.
I mean, I just mean like in general, like I think he is the full director of Marvel, right? So like he's the head.
Marvel movies, but not like Marvel comics in general. No, they have the actual real people to do that stuff.
Oh, I know.
He's only in charge of Marvel Studios.
Really?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, he's not in charge of Marvel.
In October,
I think he has some,
very recently
rights with like some of the comic book stuff, just so there's not any continuity issues.
Yeah. Well, as of like recently, is like October 29, he became the chief creative officer, CCO of Marvel Entertainment. So like
Entertainment,
just yeah.
not comics.
But that's all of Marvel. That's Marvel Entertainment,
Yeah,
not Marvel Studios.
Yeah, but it has nothing to do with the comics per se. You know, if you think about it.
It doesn't.
He's not.
I could have sworn
it doesn't.
he is.
No, dude. He's not in charge of the Marvel comics in general, bro. He's just in charge of the movies.
I don't believe it.
Let's see.
Chief Creative Officer, the high-ranking position of the creative team within a company.
Entertainment.
This position
means he's in charge of people when he makes the movies, pretty much.
Responsible for hold on. For the overall look and feel of marketing media and all branding associated with the organization. So he's like in charge of some of the stuff that goes out for the comics as well.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think he is though. I mean,
I don't think so. I mean, he's not like Stanley where he's like, you know, creating all these comics and all that stuff, you know.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, obviously he's not. And I mean, like he doesn't have like creative control over what the writers are writing.
So it says in October 2019, Feige, in addition to being the president of Marvel Studios, was named Chief Creative Officer of Marvel Comics, Marvel Television, and Marvel Animation. So yes, he does have his hand in all of that.
Yeah, he's got his hand in all the cookie jars. I'm just saying,
fine,
like he has so much like influence and sway. I mean, it's also I guess more of it would be like Disney being in charge of Marvel, and like they have like so much sway in contracting and
he
rights.
will probably have more influence on the marketing and the movie side, but the comic side, I don't think not that much influence.
That's fair.
I don't give him that edge on that one.
He definitely has people who like he goes to for those kinds of things, but overall, like they'll go to him and be like, "Hey, does this fit with your grand scheme? Hey, does this
exactly.
scheme?"
He has the final say, which I give him that. I give him that leverage, 100%. You know, you go to him and say, "Hey, you know, we want to add this person into the multiverse of madness." You know, okay.
Well, you want to put Ash into the multiverse of madness?
What?
And they're like,
What?
"Heck yeah, we do." And it's like, do we own Ash as like a right?
And he's like, yeah,
and they're
we can.
Well, let's just change his name. Let's change his name to something else. And he's not going to be Ash from Army of Darkness. He's going to be the Desecrated Man.
There you go.
Oh man.
And boom, that's how we get Ash in the Multiverse of Madness.
There you go.
I love that you did that there. That's gonna work. I'm sure we'll see it. We'll see.
That's apparently what I can't remember his name. The actor's name.
Yeah. I don't know either. I'm terrible with names. We already know
we
that.
all are.
I had it in my head and then I lost it because I kept saying Ash like 6 times.
Yeah.
But that's apparently what Bruce Campbell.
There we go.
Apparently, what Bruce Campbell's cameo was going to be, if he is even in the movie anymore.
Oh yeah, he said he came out publicly and said, "Yeah, I don't know, my cameo might have got cut. We'll see." They also cut the rundown time from 2 hours and like 33 minutes down to 2 hours or something like that. For the total movie time. But
yeah, they probably want to save the cameo for the extended version.
Yeah, they're gonna have an extended version, that's for sure. So, is there? I don't know if there's anything else we need to talk about DC Comics wise for the actual comic book stuff.
Not really. DC's always quiet about that. I mean, the only big news we have was just since like after the release of the Batman, we just have a Riddler Year One.
Yeah, pretty
comic
much.
book coming out soon.
That's one of the few things that I'm like super excited about on their end. So it should be pretty good. But on the other side, outside of the books, on the screen we have a casting call. And we have some new people who've been cast in the Blue Beetle movie. Some of these have actually been cast for a while. I just didn't pay attention. Most recently, Sharon Stone has been listed as the villain for the Blue Beetle movie. It's gonna be a movie, right?
I think it's a TV show.
Or a TV show.
Hold on,
I forget if they switched it from TV to movie or movie to TV.
I think it was going to be a movie and now a TV show on HBO.
That sounds right. So she's going to be a villain it's not specified who, obviously. I mean, I have my guess. It makes the most sense who it would be, in my eyes, as Granny Goodness.
I don't know.
I mean, she's not like all big and powerful like Granny Goodness in the comics or anything like that, but she's kind of resembles I looked into this specifically when they announced this so that I could like know who was like Granny Goodness in the DC universe already in like Zack Snyder's Justice League. They didn't even use a real person for her. Like, she's obviously in that shot with Darkseid at the very end of the film, but there's no actual actor there. That's like CGI. They like based the character model off of one of like the editors or like one of the visual effects persons, like neighbor or something like that, or like their aunt, and that's what they ran with. Obviously they like tried to make it look like Granny Goodness, but they just like threw a random like model together and went, yeah, that seems good. And it wasn't a real person.
In here, guys, it says they are making it's a movie.
Okay, so it was a TV show, and then they switched it to be a movie. So I would assume that it's still going to be part of the DCEU and connected to the rest of the films, and it's going to be Jaime, obviously. Jaime's another person who got cast. George Lopez is Jaime Reyes' uncle, so that's an interesting choice. But how do you feel? How do you guys feel about that?
It's interesting. He could be a good sidekick. I mean, he's got his comic humor. If you haven't watched George Lopez, you gotta know who George Lopez is.
Yeah,
but
George Lopez is great. I
am over George Lopez, actually.
Whoa. Okay.
Oh, careful now. Racist alert. I'm just kidding.
Canceling
No, I mean, just personally, like I thought his once the George Lopez show started going, I felt like he wasn't funny anymore.
Oh man, that's okay. That's fair.
Would you rather have him or would you rather have Fluffy, the comedian?
Why would you go there? Oh man.
I'm just saying. Would you rather have the OG guy that made everything funny, or the guy that's trying to be an extra Elizabeth, but he's still funny to tell in his own unique way?
Yeah,
which I am a fan of him.
I would do Fluffy.
I like him. He's great.
Mm-hmm. He's great too. Watch his comedy series.
He gives off like, you know, the funny uncle vibes to me.
George Lopez doesn't do it for you anymore. Dang.
No, like George Lopez feels like a you know, grandpa. Like he would be you know.
Yeah, that's fair. What's
like especially for Jaime? Like, is it going to be his grandpa or is it going to be his uncle?
It's his uncle.
Uncle Rudy. I have like the list over here.
Yeah.
Uncle Rudy Reyes.
Yep, his uncle.
Yeah. I don't know.
Seems a little old, maybe. That's I guess that's a fair criticism. Yeah.
Yeah, Sharon Stone is going to be cast as Victoria Cord, as we talked about that.
Oh, shoot. So they gave her an act. Okay, never mind. I take everything I said about Granny Goodness back. She's Victoria Cord? What?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have the list here at IMDb.
Literally, last week they said that she was an unnamed villain when I, like, pulled up these, articles. Now they've updated it, and I just didn't check, so... Well,
and cool. I got you covered right here, buddy.
Thanks, dude.
Yep, she's gonna be as Victoria because Sharon Stone's gonna be great. I recommend watching one of my personal favorite movies, The Casino. Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci. Mm-hmm. She's a great actor there. She's great. Yeah.
I just watched Murderville, which I should have a review out here for soon. She was like one of the special guests on that show, and her I think her episode was my favorite because she didn't take any of Will Arnett's shit. Like all the other actors and like celebrities that he brought on like would laugh and like break out of character. She was the only one who kept like a straight face the entire time and actually took the gig seriously. So everything that she said was just like sarcastic and like just would make him look super stupid when it was like her being put into stupid situations. So she's great.
It was Basic Instinct where you could see her hoo-ha, right? Is that correct?
I don't know.
You don't know, or you don't know, or you don't want to admit that you saw it.
I don't want to admit it. That's what it is. You got me.
Yes, it is Basic Instinct.
Oh goodness, why did we bring that up?
Like, it's part of her acting career. It's like one of the most paused scenes ever in any videos or in any movies.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You aren't wrong. Okay. Moving on, the other final piece of casting information. We have another minor Blue Beetle villain. Sorry, I have to pull my notes back up here. I'm not on top of it today.
Oh man, what's wrong with you,
dude? I don't know. Too much.
She's apparently going to be the wife of Ted Cord.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't see who's going to play Ted Cord.
It's going to be.
Is it
rumored to be the wife of Ted Cord, the previous Blue Beetle in comics?
Yeah, and she's. I would assume she probably has murdered him, and that's. I don't know if that's like
a. Went to find Jaime.
Yeah, I know more of like the Jaime Blue Beetle stories than anything, so I don't know. He dies in a couple different ways. He's like one of the few Justice Leaguers that like is almost dead in every single iteration of like a Justice League. He like constantly is dying. Like I don't know what it is, and Jaime's always taken over. At least recently.
It's probably just written in his backstory, like you know.
Yeah, yeah. The Blue Beetle's passed down to Jaime every time. Or who's the other one? Besides Jaime,
there's like one other kid that gets it, but I don't remember who. But the other casting news we have is Max Trujillo is going to play Conrad Carapax, who's like another scarab wielder, I believe. I don't know exactly.
Conrad?
Yeah. I don't remember this guy. Yeah. I don't remember who this guy is really, but...
Yeah, neither.
I'm not too familiar with Blue Beetle, so... Conrad Carapax.
Yeah. Oh, he's not a scarab user, but he has like a giant metal suit. It's technically like the indestructible man. And so he's like he's more of like a anti-hero, anti-villain from what I remember. But he's also like fought Superman, fought Blue Beetle.
Alignment bad.
Oh. Oops.
Before we continue on, this is going to be the first Latino lead live-action superhero from DC or Marvel. So
correct.
Oh, he's the DC version of the Juggernaut.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because he's a former archaeologist, now a criminal.
Yeah, I think that for some reason, I mean, obviously, Sharon Stone's going to be like the lead villain, so he's probably going to be working for her in some sort of way. We'll see.
Most likely.
But,
yeah, this is going to be interesting. I'm definitely going to look forward to being like a Latin American.
Yeah.
Hispanic person, this is going to be the first person we're going to see.
Yeah, pretty good representation there.
Do we know when this is coming out?
No,
2023.
Still don't have the actual date. Just sometime in 2023.
So it should be before Nova. Because Nova also has a chance of being a Latin American superhero.
Because they haven't announced whether it'll be Richard Rider or anything like that.
Here it is. They're saying August 18, 2023.
August, really interesting. I think they were saying that they wanted to do the television show and get it out by the end of like December 2022. But now that it's a movie and they're finally getting the pieces together with the whole DC shift, we've talked about this. Now it's a project that's in development for a little bit later.
Wait, I'm looking at the cast here besides Sharon Stone, George Lopez, and the kid that's gonna play Jaime. They have a pretty good cast so far.
Yeah, they really do. I forget the kid who plays Jaime. What else is he in? He's in something really that kind of blew up this year. Some other project.
Dina, I probably said his name wrong, but sorry.
No, it's okay.
Cobra Kai.
Oh, that's right.
Cobra Kai, yep.
He's in Cobra Kai.
Yep.
Duh.
Yep, he was in Cobra Kai.
I just haven't looked at this news in like a week, so I don't remember.
He's known for Parenthood, Cobra Kai, Dealing with Idiots, and now recently Blue Beetle.
Yeah, I'm known for Dealing with Idiots too.
Zolo?
Zolo, yeah. Yeah, like the accent's usually silent when you say Hispanics name like that.
I can't believe you
I
guys
could be
didn't
wrong.
hear that. He goes, he's known for dealing with idiots, and I go, yeah, I'm also known for dealing with idiots, and you guys just didn't hear it at all.
I thought I heard it too, but I was like, wait a minute.
Did you just say that about us? I'm sorry.
Hey, like, you son of a...
You
I
son of a
didn't hear
bitch.
because I'm an idiot.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I thought that was pretty funny. Yeah, so pretty solid cast for this show, or for this movie. I'm actually pretty excited. This is like, obviously they're getting their projects together. They're trying to get things in line, at least somewhat organized. It seems like this transition is finally finishing. There's another one of the big execs that was at Warner Brothers. It's now stepping down. That just stepped down yesterday, or maybe even just got fired yesterday. So they're leaving the company, and this is like one of the this lady was like one of the head people, like trying to stop the Snyderverse stuff. So she's gone. We'll see. We'll just see what happens. Then we're gonna move on to our final segment today, I believe, and talk about the split screen. It doesn't want to work. None of these want to work. They hate me. Okay, there we go.
They do.
I don't know why it did this. I switched all these last night, and now it doesn't want to play them. Okay. Anyways, sorry about the technical difficulties today. Split screen, we're going to talk about...
What an idiot. I mean, what?
I deserve that one. It's okay. I deserved it. We're going to talk about all the different projects that are coming out this week, how we are splitting up the duties here a little bit, what we're covering, and if we feel comfortable talking about...
Wait, we're splitting up? We're breaking up already? Oh my god.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. So some of the projects that have come out this week...
You know, doing solo projects.
We're in an open relationship.
All right, but who we're in an open relationship. All right, there, Jada.
We're in an entanglement.
Oh god.
So 3 projects have like launched this week and or last week. We got Morbius last week. We've got Moon Knight that launched its first episode last week, and then Young Justice just came out with 3 episodes last week. I have all 3 episodes. By the time you're seeing this, all 3 episodes from last week are up already, as well as my review for episode 17. So 14, 15, 16, and 17 for Young Justice. Dylan will be covering the Moon Knight stuff. We've already got
I'm a little behind, but I have my first episode already all planned out.
Nice.
Second episode I'm going to be finished writing up here probably the end of the day, and then recording on Friday for both of those.
Heck yeah.
Okay, no pressure.
Episode out by Friday.
Yeah, no pressure.
Yeah, and we have like recently all got access to the YouTube channel, so we'll just be updating it constantly, regularly, tweeting about it, so you guys know that it's out and ready.
Or you can put on the icon.
Or you can
and
just,
you know when it gets uploaded.
Yeah, hit that bell and turn on notifications. But yeah, we've got like a lot coming out. Me and William are gonna, after this episode, talk about Morbius and do our full-on review for that, because that movie is pretty strange.
It is.
And so yeah, we got that coming down the pipeline. Lots of good stuff. Do we want to talk a little bit about how we feel about Moon Knight so far, since I know we've all watched that?
Yep. Yeah, we could do a little mini review.
It kind of works with the split screen because you know, he has split personalities.
Nah, he's perfectly fine. It's all in his head. He's fine.
Yeah.
William's Conchu. Evan is Mark.
Oh,
or
God.
is Evan Steven?
I don't know, actually. Who would I be? Would I be Mark or would I be Steven?
I don't see you as a Mark, to be honest. I don't see you that type of guy that will like be they'll be the one that gets hands dirty per se.
The ruthless guy.
I mean, maybe you could be a guy that could get into a fight. I'm not sure.
Just kidding. Sorry.
I mean, I don't know. I don't see both of you guys as like the fighting type. Well, I could be wrong though.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
all right.
That's fine.
I'll take Mark. I like Mark. I think Mark's a badass. I really like Mark. I think what's funny, so we've all watched the first 2 episodes of this, so spoilers for Moon Knight if you haven't watched it or you know haven't gotten to it yet. My favorite scene so far through the first 2 episodes is the scene where he's sitting down with the security guard reviewing the footage from the night before, and he's like, "You're about to have your fucking mind blown. It's gonna be crazy. Just get ready for it." And then the jackal that pops up is like completely invisible to the rest of the human eyes, and you don't like. Every other human can't see it.
Nope, only he could see it.
Yeah,
pretty much.
It's pretty funny.
I think it's really anybody who's an Avatar or has been an Avatar.
Yes, I would agree with that. So anyone who's seen one of the gods, one of the Egyptian gods, is able to access the sight or whatever you want, whatever power you want to call it, to actually be able to see these. You can't even call them constructs, but like
no, they're summons essentially.
Yeah,
pretty
something
much.
like that.
No, they would be under the category of a summon.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. Yeah. These summons are like, and obviously there's that first jackal that chases him in the museum that he kills, and then there's one that he lets out later in the film as well to chase down Mark in that temple scene that got released as a short clip before the first week, and essentially that jackal chases him around, and we get Mr. Knight that shows up in the second episode.
Spoilers.
It's all spoilers. Yeah, that suit is sick. I like that.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
I love how with the split, he's like Steven and Mr. Knight are like sort of connected as one, and then like Mark and Moon Knight are connected as one, and they like I was telling Dylan earlier, it's not like a direct foil between the two, because like they're not like competing, or they're not like opposites. I mean, in a way they sort of are, but they're still like the same person, so like it like foils, it like rounds out the character rather than foils it, which is really cool.
I actually wouldn't be surprised if we saw one more personality by the end of the episodes.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. No, absolutely not.
Because he has like about over like 70 personalities, like in the comic books.
I don't remember exactly how many.
It's quite a few in the comic books. Like, yeah.
Hold on, we're doing the research here.
But I wouldn't be surprised if we saw at least one more, because I mean, it's hard for one actor to try to be like 3 different characters. And
Oscar Isaac's doing great with it.
Well, he's doing really awesome with the 2. Yeah. Because there's like a big difference between like Mark and Steven.
Oh yeah.
Like, just the vocal cadences that he uses for Steven instead of like Mark. Like, he uses his British accent for Steven, has like a little bit of a high-pitched voice.
Yep.
Like, for Mark, he does his English version, like English accents.
Yep.
And then just like pitches it down into a darker, gruffer voice. Like,
yeah. And I like how a lot of people had an issue with Steven's like British accent over the first week. And it's funny because in the second episode, they just poke straight fun at his accent. What did he say about himself? He was like, "That's the American bloke," or whatever. But he also, what was the line? There's like a line where maybe it was Layla saying something about, I don't get this gig. The accent doesn't fool me. Also, it's terrible. Something like that. And they just poke fun at like, it's not the best accent in the world. It's supposed to be a little bit. I mean,
if you think about it, like, I think Mark is supposed to be the prime personality.
Yeah.
And then Steven is one that has been created through PTSD. And it's a way for him to deal with the trauma of Mark, while also, kind of spoilers, like keeping the memory of his wife inside of him.
Yeah.
Because Mark tried to abandon her, I guess.
Yeah.
Try not to say too much.
No, we can talk about all the spoilers we want. We said it at the very
beginning. Yeah, they say he has about 10 He has about 10 personalities in the comics.
And Layla, like, have the same personality essentially, or not same personality, but same likes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like I think that's part of the whole like the Steven personality was created to keep Layla
at bay.
No, like alive inside of him.
Oh, interesting. I like that idea. Because they have the same interests.
He literally tried to like get rid of her out of his life.
Yeah, he like put everything that like could have been used to contact her or remind him of her inside the walls of the flat or whatever, so that he couldn't get in contact with her. I think that was more so because there's like these two personalities like ruling the body back and forth. That I think, if I had to guess, that was actually Mark though, like trying to like keep her safe and keep her away, because he's been like chosen as the avatar for Khonshu and chosen to be the Moon Knight. So like he's like trying to just keep her away, and also because Khonshu wants to use Layla as another avatar once the mission is finished or whatever.
Pretty much what Khonshu is that she's the next candidate after he's done with Mark. Gets rid of him, be like, okay, I'm done with you. I'm gonna take your wife
over. Yeah, pretty much.
She's gonna be my next candidate. You know that.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's like I think it's more so a protection thing, and then maybe he, again with the PTSD thing, he was like trying to do everything he can to like keep his life safe and away from her by making this whole fake.
I think it like Steven really started getting like, this may be all shown later, but like remember when the people like opened up his file, like Mark Spector's file, about like 6 people found dead, like in the like like shot to death, like that kind of like executioner style.
Yep.
What I actually think is that Mark was on an expedition, found Khonshu, got attacked by the Amet people, and ended up killing the Amet people. Yeah. They turned it into the fact that like he turned into a mercenary.
Yep.
Because he got all this like instant knowledge.
And fighting skills from Khonshu. Yeah.
Killed those people. And then because of that, he like snapped, creating another personality.
That'd be interesting.
Of Steven.
Steven, to get away from everything and try and abandon it.
Yeah. And
that's
then
not a bad theory.
He realized that he needs to push away his wife too, or else she's going to get in trouble. And then so that's why Steven has a lot of her likes.
Yeah, because like they shared similar interests. Probably Mark even had some of the same interests, but like they have the same favorite book, or was it same favorite song?
Oh.
Favorite poem, that's right. Yeah. And so like that's Steven, this altered personality's way of like still having that connection to her, even though it's not like a known connection. It's like a subconscious thing, which is in how like DID and multiple personality works. That's exactly how that would function. So,
and then like when she was looking at him and he's like, yeah, I was just talking to my mom the other day. She's like, oh, you're actually talking to your mom again? And he's like, yeah, like,
of course.
But we've never seen him actually like talk to his mom.
Conversation.
Only call her.
It's all voicemails that he's leaving. So
yeah.
Part of me wonders. Obviously, he says when he hangs up the phone after the voicemail's left, he says, "Laters, Gators." Do you want to talk about that theory you had, Dylan?
Go for it.
So
go for it.
I actually think that he's not actually calling his mom. Like, he's calling something, but like what he's actually hearing on the other end is like just a dead dial tone, essentially. But he's like blocking that out, and he's using it as a way to communicate with another god.
I would agree.
Sebek, which is a god of denial. He's supposed to be like a fraternity god, was one of the first gods to, or one of the creation gods, was the one that like basically made the Nile, made it to where like the Egyptian people could live. And I think he's been talking to that god, or at least like thinking that he's talking to his mom, but it ends up actually being a direct line to that god, and that's probably one of the other gods we'll see in this movie or this show. The reason why I also kind of think that is because Sebek is supposed to be, at least in Egyptian lore, the father of Khonshu.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which, I mean, they could always change it because, you know, comic book stuff.
Yeah. They
Or
can
it to
make
be,
it...
you know, or it doesn't really matter because they're gods, and gods can just create kids however they want.
They can create like, however they want. They can appear as however they want as well. So.
During my researches, I found that, like, the first god, Atom, he sneezed or not sneezed and used the lower sneeze to create other gods.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's like essentially like the Zeus of Greek mythology, just like compare it, because I know a lot of people like know Greek mythology or Norse mythology a bit better. Like Atom is like the sun god, or like the supreme god like Zeus is.
So he is a sun god, but he's officially the god of pre-existence and post-existence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the guy who controls it all, sort of. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So anyways, I wanted you to bring that up mostly because this is all the stuff that he's going to be covering in the Moon Knight series as he's going through episode to episode. So if you want to see those videos, those are going to be out pretty soon, and you should definitely be checking those out because he's got a lot of good stuff on him, and it just like from like what I've heard already, I already know. So I wanted to bring that up. Obviously, we're going to talk a little bit about Morbius. We can't talk about it here on this episode. Because Dylan hasn't seen it yet. We don't want to spoil anything for him.
I think we might as well, but you know, it's just like no, he's gonna go see it now.
He might.
You know?
He said he might.
I probably won't see it. Yeah.
Say right now because like you didn't see Batman, so you might as well not see Morbius.
Yeah. I saw Batman, so
it
but
just
like,
took him
oh yeah, you did. Never mind. Yeah, sorry, never mind.
Yeah. I probably won't see Morbius, but I did watch like New Rockstar's breakdown of it. So
yeah. I just don't
want
to.
Kind of the general gist of the movie.
Yeah, I just don't want to like go too into the details in case he does decide to get curious and go watch. But either way, it's probably better to.
I don't know if we said it in a comic or in one of the episodes or not, but I was already pretty skeptic about it after the last trailer came out.
Yeah.
When they were like,
I was too. Yeah.
Marvel's legend arrives.
You did say that in one of our previous episodes. I forget which one it was.
Was it part of the Miss Marvel one, probably, what we were talking about?
I'm not sure. I think it was like one of our other episodes, though, where we were talking about stuff coming out. But he had said he was skeptical about it. I was like, I have kind of high hopes for it. Even though, like, it's not the greatest character, I think that Jared Leto's pretty great, and he'll do a good job.
I mean, Jared Leto's a great actor, but you can only do so much with what you're given.
Yeah, he was not given much to work with. I mean, he did great. Honestly, I think Jared Leto's performance was really, really good. Like, one of the few good performances in the entire movie out of all the rest of the characters. But he's like the one positive thing from this, and he did a good job. However, the rest of it is so bad that it just diminishes the fact that he did good. So, I don't want to talk too much about spoilers on that, just because we're about to do that here right after this. We'll say it. I can talk a little bit about Young Justice. I won't spoil it. I just did, like I said, the 3 episodes that are already scheduled to come up. They're already all out by the time you're seeing this on Monday, so they've already aired Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But essentially they're doing a really, really cool storyline underneath the sea right now in Atlantis, in Poseidonis in specific, the little city-state that King Orin runs. Calderon is obviously taken... This is spoilers for you guys, because you guys probably haven't seen season... I know Dylan hasn't seen season 3, but Calder, the Aqualad, has become Aquaman and is now running the Justice League.
He's running the Justice League.
Yeah,
wow.
sorry. So that's a bit of a spoiler, but it doesn't detract much. But he's
no. Now you ruined the whole series for me. I hate you now forever.
What? Nah, he's leveled up big time. He's taken on a lot of responsibility.
Yeah, that's good.
And so obviously, like the OG Aquaman, Orin, is still like running Atlantis and running things downstairs, but he's up top running the real world stuff. So they have it on both fronts. They did some really, really interesting, cool storylines in season 3 and the beginning half of season 4. Then they took a bit of a break to finish up some animation, I believe, and now they're doing the back half of season 4, which is episode 14 is where it started. And so they're doing that. I can't talk about some of the other stuff because it's actual spoilers for season 3 that I shouldn't talk to you
watch
about.
his videos. Watch Evan's videos.
But yeah, those are all. I have the breakdowns and stuff like that all up. Talk a little bit about Easter egg stuff and characters, but mostly just like a breakdown of the episodes for those.
Correct.
Yeah, there's not much else I can say without giving actual spoilers for these guys. I don't want to spoil it for them. It's all I can say though is like Young Justice is still as good as it used to be, so I'll leave it at that. They're doing more magic stuff, more out there stuff, more space stuff, and it's great. So
Magic in space, huh?
Magic in space.
What about sexual stuff? What
the heck? They're actually doing some of the same like relationship building and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If you guys remember Lagan, he's like the green tiger water monster that can blow himself up or whatever, like bloated. He is actually like in an open relationship in the show with like this mermaid lady and Garth. Or no, with Wind, or maybe it is Garth. I don't know, but like they're in an open relationship, and so like they have a kid coming on the way, but like they're both her husband, and so you're like, what is this? What is this kid gonna come out like? And so and like Lagan's getting sent off on a mission, and so he's like, they're like, you can't leave. We're about to have a family, and then he's like, I have to do it. The king asked me to, and so but it's all high stakes stuff. A lot of mystery. That's like the best thing that Young Justice is good at is like not revealing too much about what's going on behind the scenes. At least that's my favorite part of it.
Pretty dark as well.
Yeah, it does get pretty dark. It's actually they're like dealing with like somebody is going through an addiction crisis actually, and they're doing like an intervention for this person. I won't say who it is.
Oh damn! It's me.
Oh, it's me because it's me. No, it's pretty intense stuff. It's always been like pretty real, pretty grounded, but also like I mean, it hits.
Is it
like
Arsenal? Because he's the one that usually has that kind of stuff.
No, it's actually not Arsenal.
Oh,
surprisingly, but he probably will be involved in the intervention process at some point here. He hasn't been yet.
He's like, hey, I've been there before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speedy.
It's Tim, isn't it?
Nope.
Okay, it's Damien.
Nope.
Oh God.
Damien's not even introduced. Well, actually, I think Damien is introduced, but not part of any of the teams.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
He's still with his mom.
No, he was already, he was introduced in the Teen Titans movie, I believe, right?
I'm just talking about like the Young Justice universe.
Yeah. I don't think has he been mentioned in it?
I don't think so. I haven't seen it. He's like not on screen, but he's with his mom, if anything.
Okay, so,
he's with Talia.
Oh, maybe that's what's gonna be like. Season 5 is like Damien just destroying the Young Justice on his own.
Oh my gosh, that'd be horrible.
I mean, it's possible. I mean, it's Damien. If you think about it, He's more. He's more. More
It's a way, show Batman that he's ready to be a superhero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he goes in and he dismantles the Young Justice, and he's like, Look, Dad, I'm here. I'm ready.
It's actually, to be honest, it's much more complicated than that because of some of the things that have happened. It's like the Sokovia Accords from Marvel, where things get all messy and how things operate. That's kind of what's going on. Again, without saying too much, it's not like as bad, but it's not like heroes fighting heroes, obviously. But
yeah, we get what you mean. But yeah, we'll say that another time.
Yeah.
Let's just go watch the series.
Yeah. But I think that's pretty much all we have for this week. Next week we'll...
Goddamn.
Yeah, I know. It goes by so fast. Me and William got to go record this Morbius video, so we're going to do that. Thank you guys for being here this week. We appreciate all the support. Pretty soon here we're launching our Patreon. This episode is already up there on like an hour after this. It's already been uploaded there. We'll have more details about tiers and all that stuff down the road, but it's coming to that point where we're like, yo, let's get serious.
We're trying to ramp this up to high gear.
Yeah,
exactly.
So
pretty soon OnlyFans coming near you as well.
Whoa! Don't tell them about that yet.
Oh, sorry. Never mind.
But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for listening. We will be back next week with episode 5 of the first season of the Irresponsible Comic Book Podcast. We don't know what we're talking about yet, but it'll be good stuff. I can guarantee you that. Thanks for being here. Until next time.
Strange stuff.
Oh, probably actually. Yeah, now that I think about it. Yeah. Since we're like a month out, it'll be 3 weeks out. Yeah. Expect
Sonic comes out this week as well.
We will maybe talk about Sonic.
Maybe.
We'll see if we all watch it. I'm actually...
I need to watch. What are you watching Sonic 1 on?
I had to get it on Amazon, but it was $3 to rent it.
That's fine.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what I did. I actually am just watching Sonic 1. I just finished it, so...
Nice.
Yep. But anyways, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Till then, peace.
Adios.
Ciao, ciao.